Hello, everyone. It is January 5th on Tuesday. Everyone seemed to enjoy the video I made a few days ago going through each state over the course of 2020, looking at COVID hospitalizations and cases and fatalities. So I thought I would do one specifically for California, since I live in California and it's a major COVID spot right now. So what we have here is hospitalizations normalized again to population for every single individual county in the state of California. So these are hospitalizations normalized to population. And as a reference point, I put in here this black line here. This is New York. This black line is what this was New York back in March and all the way up to their recent data here. I thought that would be a good metric for us to compare the scale of what we're looking at here. And again, as I've shared in previous updates, once you get up to a level like around here, that's when more than 80% of your hospital capacity is dedicated to dealing with COVID patients. So this is a lot. This is more than a hospital system can handle. This is when you are setting up field hospitals and bringing in the big medical ships that the U.S. Army, U.S. Navy was sending in. Anything above this line over here, maybe if I could draw anything kind of above this point is something where there's enough strain on your hospitals that they're starting to run out of hospital beds. And what we were doing when we were over here at this point during the summer here in California is we were sending patients back and forth to different counties in order to manage the hospital load. So you'll notice when we have counties that go above that line, then you have to get creative in terms of managing your patient load. This is when normally a hospital is going to have maybe like 15% or 20% of their beds open, right, in case of emergency or something like that. This is when you are effectively using up all of that excess capacity, and in order to have available beds in the hospital, you have to shift patients around. So what you can see here is, as we're getting here into our December and January numbers, many counties have exceeded that benchmark, that point. So we're going to look at each of them individually. Let's get this out of the way and let's jump into it. We will start with the Bay Area, since I live in Bay Area. Biggest county, Santa Clara County, 1.9 million people. You can see the Santa Clara County trend there. Hospitalizations still seem to be going up. Alameda County, you can see hospitalizations might be leveling off. Not quite clear yet, but they look like they're still going up. Contra Costa County, still going up there. San Francisco County, still look like they're trickling up. Not quite, and of course, these counties, they are not at that line that we're concerned with that, is over exceeding hospital capacity, but they are still increasing. San Mateo County here, Sonoma County here, Solano County is getting up there, Monterey County getting up there. You can see there's Santa Cruz inching up towards that line that we're worried about. Marin County never really got that serious. They've stayed pretty low throughout. Napa County has been going up. I'm not sure if they're going to continue going up. And that is the Bay Area. These are the counties for the Bay Area. Going to Northern California now. So here we've got Shasta County. They were going up for a bit. It looks like they're starting to drop back down in terms of hospitalization. So let's keep an eye on that. Hopefully that will continue. Humboldt County never really got that bad. Mendocino County never really got that bad. Looks like mostly just fluctuations there. Again, for Tehama County, some fluctuations up. One thing to keep in mind, these are small counties. These are populations of 65,000. So any hospitalizations are going to be, because this is normalized to population, they're going to look significant, even if they don't have a lot. Lake County, not much happening there. Siskiyou County, they were up for a bit and then seem to have dropped back down, so that's good. Lawson County hasn't seemed to get that bad. We'll take a look at their case numbers because their case numbers look interesting later. Glenn County, Again, really small county, 28,000 people. So even just a couple people in the hospital make a huge blip. Um, and Del Norte County there, Trinity County, not much happening there. Now, in terms of these, yeah, this might be a good time to mention. So you'll see these like weird, crazy spikes that go off the charts, right? For a couple of these places, or weird spikes that spike up and then drop back down. That is because here I am plotting both confirmed cases as well as suspected cases. So what happened here early on is a couple of very small counties, they had suspected they would have like 20 people come in with suspected COVID cases, right? And it took them a few days to test them, and they test them, and then it turns out they didn't have COVID, they just had the flu or something like that. So for a couple days it spikes, really high because you have a county of like 2,000 people and they have 20 suspected cases, and then it turns out none of those were actually real cases, and so the numbers drop back down. It was just easier to plot the data that way. So just keep that in mind whenever you see these weird spikes that like shoot up and then shoot right back down. That's because those are most likely suspected cases that ended up not being actual real cases, and then they were no longer counted in the hospitalization numbers. I include that simply because it gives you a good metric of hospital burden, right? Because those are still patients in the hospital that are receiving care that you are concerned with. But just keep in mind, whenever you see numbers fluctuating like this, it's really the bottom of that fluctuation that you should be using as your actual COVID hospitalization numbers. So that's Northern California there. Let's go on to the Sacramento, greater Sacramento area. So here's Sacramento County. You can see they look like they've leveled off now, which is good. Placer County, I think they've leveled off as well. Yolo has never really got that bad. Butte County seems to have leveled off, I believe. El Dorado creeping up, but not much happening there. Nevada leveled off and looks like they're dropping down now. And again, you can see that big spike in the beginning as they had a bunch of suspected cases that ended up not actually being COVID cases. Sutter. So here's another point to note. You'll notice there's nothing in Sutter County, but there's a ton in Yuba County here. That is because these graphs are based off of where patients are being hospitalized, not necessarily what county they're from. So if none of the COVID patients are being hospitalized in Southern County and they're all being hospitalized in Yuba County, which is right next to it, right? Then that's going to make your graphs look a little weird. But yeah, you can see, between these counties in this area, we do have a decent number that have ended up in the hospital as of late. Amador County there, Colusa. Again, those fluctuations are most likely suspected cases that ended up not actually being real COVID patients. Once, because they're up for a couple days and then they drop back down because the patients test negative. Plumas County, again, most likely these are suspected cases and not real actual cases. Sierra, Alpine, nothing hospitalized there. Now we get to Southern California. Southern California is the issue, right? This is Los Angeles. Now you can see, and they're still going up, and their cases are still, they still got a lot of cases, new cases every day. So my guess is this graph is going to continue to go up for a while. You can see they are almost as bad as New York State was back at their peak. So my guess, and Los Angeles, based on the numbers now, I expect that graph to continue to increase for at least the next week, if not two, if they don't really get their act together. So that gives you an idea of how, even at the low numbers that we saw back in June, you can see where they peaked there. That was enough for enough of a burden on their healthcare system that they were sending patients out of the area and shuffling patients around to deal with the load. So these are some significant numbers for Los Angeles. San Diego, they've gotten pretty up there too, but it looks like they've at least stabilized. Orange County continues to increase. They continue to go up. Riverside is continuing to go up. San Bernardino, you can see they're pretty bad too, and they're continuing to go up. I do not think they have leveled off yet. Ventura County still going up, but not quite as bad. Santa Barbara's still going up. Again, not quite as bad. San Luis Obispo never really got that bad. Looks like they may have leveled off at this point. Imperial County, yeah. We're gonna have to think hard about what we're going to do, because that is a lot of cases to show up in a very short period of time. Inyo County, small county, so even just a few cases makes for huge fluctuations in their numbers. This is a county of like 18,000 people. Mono County, not much happening there, probably mostly suspected cases, not real. And we go to our Central California, Fresno. You can see Fresno's going up there. I don't think that they've leveled off yet, but they're definitely crossing the line of burden. Kern County's getting up there too. San Joaquin Valley, they look like they've leveled off now. Stanislaus, they look like they've leveled off. Tulare County still looks like they're going up there. Merced never really got that bad. Madera County looks like they are still going up. Kings County, they may have leveled off, kind of hard to tell. San Benito looks like they've leveled off now. Never really got that bad. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Tuolumne County, they never really got that bad there. Calaveras County never really got that bad there. Again, these are small counties that never really saw significant cases. And this is New York as a comparison. So some things to point out in these hospitalization numbers. These numbers started going up. I know people are still talking about holiday surge and stuff. These numbers were starting to go up before the holidays even hit. This was early November that we started to see these rise in each of these areas. Something happened in the beginning of November that just changed the trends and started increasing the spread. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on what's happening. And let's quickly go over two cases so you can see what we should be what we're expecting to continue to increase and what we're not. And again, these, like previously, these are 7-day averages that helps smooth the data out a little bit and normalize the population again. So we'll see here again, starting with Santa Clara, our daily new cases in Santa Clara County have not dropped down yet. Until those numbers drop down, hospitalizations will continue to increase because the rate of hospital increase is proportional to how high this line gets. So even though we are not seeing more daily new cases than previous days, the fact that it's still elevated like that means your hospitalization numbers are going to continue to rise. Alameda County didn't quite get as high, but they have not dropped back down yet. Contra Costa has not yet dropped back down. San Francisco never really got that bad to begin with. San Mateo County's hasn't dropped down yet. Sonoma County, Solano County, Monterey, fluctuating a little too much. It's kind of hard to say. Santa Cruz, they haven't dropped down yet. Marin County again hasn't really gotten that bad, and Napa there. So our daily new cases here in the Bay Area have not yet dropped down, which means the places where hospitalizations are increasing, they're probably going to continue to increase for the next week or two at least. Northern California, you can see again, Shasta dropped back down. Humboldt never really got that bad. Mendocino looks like they are staying flat. Tehama staying flat there. Lake County maybe dropping down. Siskiyou looks like they've dropped down. Lassen County, they're kind of all over the place. I'm not sure what's going on here. It is a small county, only 30,000. I'm not sure where all their cases are coming from because it's not reflected in their hospitalization numbers. So they might be testing people from another county or from another setting. Glenn County, if anything, their daily new cases are increasing a bit. Del Norte looks like they're dropping down. Trinity has dropped back down. Modoc is fluctuating. Again, these are small counties. You're not gonna get much in these areas. Sacramento here looks like they might be starting to drop back down. So hopefully that will translate into lower hospitalization numbers. it's hard to tell with some of these over the Christmas break because some of these temporary decreases we might be seeing might be a result of decreased testing because everyone's on vacation for holidays or they're home, they're with family, they're not interested in going in for a test. Um, and likewise, some of the spikes in positive cases, here's Placer County, some of the spikes in cases before the holidays might be because there are increased people that are interested in getting a COVID test because they were planning on meeting with family. And so everyone wanted to get a COVID test before the holidays to see. So that might explain why we got some spike in cases that don't necessarily translate into hospitalization numbers just because people that otherwise would not have gotten tested got tested in order to better protect their families for the holidays. And then hopefully, ideally, they tested positive, so they decided not to gather with their families. So with any luck, this increase of cases right before the holidays might actually be a good thing because it encouraged more people to stay home and not gather in large groups. Yolo County here, uh, uh, Butte County here, El Dorado, again, hasn't dropped back down. Nevada looks like they've dropped down. Sutter, so you can remember Sutter, there weren't anyone in the hospital, but you can see they've got cases. So it's not that there's no one here that's ending up in the hospital, it's that they're being hospitalized in other counties. But their numbers look like they're dropping back down too. Yuba, the same. So hopefully they're done with their waves. We'll keep an eye on that. Amador, again, really small county, so the numbers can fluctuate a whole lot. Calusa looks like they might be starting to drop back down. Hard to say. Pluma's never really got that much. Sierra, nothing much happening there. Alpine, a couple. Again, these cases here might simply be due to an increased number of people that were interested in getting tested before the holidays and they tested positive, and so they said, all right, we're not going to gather because we're testing positive. And that's why they may not, these in these small counties, when you get a lot of cases, it might not necessarily translate into hospitalization numbers. Los Angeles County, you can see their daily new cases are still up, which means their hospitalizations will continue to increase. San Diego County, their daily new cases are still increasing, which is going to be reflected in their hospitalization numbers. Orange County, they're still up. Riverside, they're still up. San Bernardino might be dropping back down, or this peak might be more correlated with testing right before the holidays, increased people wanting to get tested. It's too soon to tell you yet. We'll keep an eye on this for the next couple of weeks. Ventura, they're still going up there. Santa Barbara, still going up in terms of daily new cases. San Luis Obispo, still going up. Imperial County, they might actually be dropping back down, which is good news because they've got a lot of strain on their hospital system there. Inyo County, they were up. Looks like they might be back down. Mono County looks like they're back down. And again, those when you see spikes like that, where all of a sudden it's a small county, and all of a sudden there's a huge spike and then it drops back down, that is most likely holiday preparation testing, where people want to get tested for the holidays and then they test positive, and so they do not gather with their families. Fresno, again, you see that peak in cases that then drops back down. And it's also possible that there is a delay in testing in reporting out test results over the last couple of days. So that would imply that there are more cases on the, say, the second or the third or the fourth than we see in this graph, and just those results haven't been reported yet. So it's hard to use the last couple of days right over here for any type of metric. Kern County might be starting to drop back down. San Joaquin Valley still kind of flat there. Stanislaus still kind of flat. Tulare County hasn't dropped back down yet. Merced, I don't think they've dropped down yet. Madera, they're still up. Kings still up. San Benito, they're still up there. Tuolumne County, again, that might just be a pre-holiday testing spree that they did that then has dropped down. Calaveras County, and last Mariposa County. Nothing much ever happened there. And that is it for California in terms of our cases and hospitalization numbers. So you can see, based on the increase in daily new cases that we have over here, we can probably expect for most of these counties, these lines are going to continue to go up for the next week. And hopefully, as more people are able to stay isolated and we're able to get a better handle on things, the daily new cases will drop back down, and then after that, the hospitalizations will drop back down. But we are not going to see a decrease in hospitalizations until we see a drop in daily new cases. And most places that seems to have not happened yet. So that's it for the California data. I got this directly from the California Department of Public Health. So thing to keep in mind, the last couple of days, daily new cases here may not accurately reflect what we're really having in daily new cases because there might be a delay in reporting. But other than that, what you see is what we got right now. So hope you guys are all staying safe and being responsible, and looking forward to putting together an update soon going through the latest in terms of treatments for COVID infections. And that is it.